In this video, we're going to cover the database panel. Now, when I first started working with cPanel, this section scared the bejeebers out of me. I was so intimidated by databases that I never even messed with anything that required me to create or edit them. Well, fear not. Let's go ahead and dive in and remove all fears because it's easy once you know how. Now, once you log into your cPanel control panel, you want to scroll on down until we come across the database panel. And I've got two tabs open up here to represent two different web hosting companies that I've subscribed to. This is one, and you can see here the basics of what will be or should be contained in the database panel. That's the MySQL databases, and yes, it's pronounced MySQL, not MySQL. And we've got the database wizard for MySQL. We got the PHP MyAdmin, which allows us to basically manage the databases that we create here. And we've got the remote MySQL. Now, on a different web hosting company, come on down here, and we can see here under the databases panel for this one, we've got those four items. But we've also got another set of databases. This one's called PostgreSQL, and they've also got their own database wizard, just like with MySQL, and they've got their admin section, just like here we've got the PHP MyAdmin. The My is for MySQL, and the PG here is for PostgreSQL. Now, there's another database that may show up here, depending on when you're watching this video, may be showing up in this section here in the near future, and that's called MariaDB, which from what I understand will eventually take over and replace the MySQL databases within cPanel. But do not worry, because the MariaDB acts much like the MySQL databases, but with many more enhancements, and will work with everything that MySQL already does. It's what's called a drop-in replacement, because you simply drop it in and it replaces the function of MySQL. And by the way, it's your web hosting company, not you, that will be doing this dropping in or replacements of any of the databases if they replace them at all. Okay, so let's get back on track here. If we head on over to this particular web hosting company, so as to avoid the distractions of the other databases that we're not going to be messing with, we're just going to stick with the MySQL for the time being. Again, here is where we create the databases out of the MySQL databases. Now, this one here, if we take a look, covers a lot of different steps. Basically, there's only four steps, or four items that we're going to be doing here. That is, we're going to create the database name, then we're going to create the database user, that's 2, and 3, we're going to create a password for that database user, and 4, we're going to assign the user and the privileges of that database to that particular user. And if you wanted to change the passwords for these users, then you can do so by just clicking on the link here. And if you wanted to delete that user altogether, maybe it was just a temporary user you assigned to somebody to do some outsourcing work for you, come on over here and click on that red X. And if you wanted to delete that entire database, you come on up here and you click on delete database. Now, this will not delete the users that are assigned to this database. Again, you got to do that right down here. And these are the steps involved in creating a database. Now, another way to do the same thing, come on back here, is to use the MySQL database wizard. If you click on this, it basically does the same exact thing that I just showed you, only it removes all the clutter and just does it step by step. You give it a name, click next step. Then it will ask for the username. Give it a name, click next step. Then it's going to ask for a password. Put in a password, next step. Then it's going to assign the permissions, next step. Pretty simple. Again, it's the same exact thing, only it eliminates all the visual clutter, if you want to call it that, that shows up here. All this stuff here is not in that wizard. And then under the PHP MyAdmin, this is just where you go to manage the various databases that you have. With this, you're going to see all the databases over here, and you can make any adjustments you need on a table by table basis. These are the different tables, and there's a lot to this here, but to try to keep things as simple as possible, the main things you'll be looking at here is exporting, that's to do a backup, and importing in case you need to repair a table or import all of the different tables into a new database that you just created. Now, one thing I do want to mention, if we come on back here, over here you've got the overhead. And frankly, there should be zero overhead, but this is what happens whenever you have an active database. This can in fact slow things down. This can in fact slow the entire load time of your script or your website that's assigned to that script if you've got a large amount of overhead. So what I do from time to time is I'll log into my PHP MyAdmin, and I'll come on over here and click check tables having overhead. See, it automatically checks all the tables that have the overhead. And then over here with selected, click on that drop down box, come on down here and repair table. What that's going to do is remove that overhead. Boom. Come on back up here and you see no overhead. So what we just did was we improved the load time. Even though it's a minuscule amount, we improved the load time for that particular script. In this case, a WordPress site. So we just get on out of the phpMyAdmin, and then we've got the remote MySQL, which is rarely used, but it is an option in case you find the need for it. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on the databases panel of your cPanel control panel. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.